Howdy, and welcome to another episode of the Big DK Energy Podcast. My name is Danny Carenter, or the DK in the Big DK Energy. EDC Orlando is fast approaching, and I have met many amazing characters from that community. It so happens that one of these individuals from that community is across from me today. She is an absolute monster in everything that she does. Two of her best accolades is that she has taken over the social media for Home Base Orlando and has even taken over for Imagine Music Festival. And granted, what happened was unfortunate, but she did everything in her power to make sure that Imagine Music Festival was as hyped up as much as possible. And I know all of you were excited for it. And besides that, she is just such a chill person, and she's someone that you definitely would want to have a multiple hour long conversation about EDM music with. And so, with all that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, please put your fins together for today's guest, Miss Elliott Hunt.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
I love that energy you're having right now.
Very excited. I've never done a podcast before. This is my first time.
Really?
But I'm very excited. A little nervous, but we got this.
You totally got this.
Danny makes everything better. Ooh.
I do my best to make things not crappy, and so far, I haven't failed. So that's good. Or I haven't succeeded, failed, whatever it is. We're still here and we're alive, so that's all that matters.
Exactly. Here, feeling good. It's a nice Wednesday night around 5:30.
I love how the temperature is really starting to cool down here.
I know. I was sitting outside all day yesterday. It was so nice.
And for once, I'm not drenched when I walk out my door due to all the humidity.
The humidity is absolutely insane here, and my hair just goes crazy every time the summertime comes around because
you become Miss Frizzle.
I become Medusa, literally snakeheads everywhere because my hair is just crazy. Actually, I say that my hair looks like ramen noodles when I go out in the humidity.
That's
because
hilarious.
It's just so crazy and it's really curly.
You look like an early Justin Timberlake.
That one picture where he's in like the all white, that's me in the summer.
Funny part is I actually have some ramen in the back right there, so...
If you don't have ramen, what are you doing?
Well, not coming to you, I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good answer.
Hey, do you have a foot fetish? Nah, hair fetish. Hair fetish? Could you describe that to me?
Has to look like ramen noodles.
To the T, because if it looks like linguine, it's a no.
Angel hair, no. Spaghetti, no.
Elliott's hair?
Yes.
Only the finest. It seems like eating hair is only something that people would do when they're tripping balls. Speaking of tripping balls, the EDM music industry...
Yeah, I mean, if you could put one definition to it, it would be tripping balls.
So there's a market for that, and the business is just capitalizing on it, so...
I guess you could say that.
So I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, bringing it to the people, I guess.
Absolutely. One way you do that is through your social media, especially, I assume.
Yes, exactly.
You're so amazing at social media that you already have two big names in the industry coming to you. Well, no, they already came to you, and you already accepted as social media positions for them. And so, granted, I'm sure they have millions of candidates from around the world that would love to do what you do, and yet here you are, Elliott Hunt, and you have all those titles and bells and whistles next to your name. So how did it all start for you?
So back in 2017, when I moved to Orlando, I just recognized that there's like a really big music scene here.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta. So
Hot Atlanta,
exactly. Which actually is kind of crazy that I work for Imagine now because it's based in Atlanta. So it's kind of just like a big circle for me now. But
yeah, it's like why'd you have to leave in the first place?
Well, I hate it. That's why I left. That place is definitely... The people there are different. I mean, I love visiting. My parents still live there, so I do love visiting my parents. But
Buckhead is a nice area, too.
Buckhead is really nice. My parents actually live in Sandy Springs, which is like 10 minutes away from Buckhead.
Okay. There's one thing I hate about Atlanta, though. The traffic.
The traffic. Everybody says that. It's the worst in the entire world. Like, it's crazy. It's
it's
scary.
It's definitely top 3 for me. If it's not New York, it's definitely Atlanta. And I would say Miami's pretty bad, too.
Honestly, Tampa is terrible now, too.
Oh,
Tampa's
yeah,
like getting
I-4.
worse and worse and worse. Yeah.
Well, everyone wants to move to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
But that's why I'm such an aggressive driver, is because I grew up driving in Atlanta.
I'm an aggressive driver too, but that's because my parents are New Yorkers, so...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's inherited.
We know, yeah.
So anyway.
Passed along in the genes.
So, being from Atlanta and where Imagine is set up, yet your social media in the EDM industry roots started here in Orlando.
Mm-hmm. So I moved here to go to UCF. Go
Knights.
Knights. I moved here, was undecided, didn't know my major, but I realized that there was like a really big EDM scene in Orlando, and I was kind of getting into that in Atlanta. So when I came here, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start promoting shows, like for free tickets, selling tickets, whatever, just kind of like what everybody does at Guilt and stuff. So I kind of started doing that.
It's kind of weird how we went to school at UCF, and it's like not the biggest Florida university. However, there's some big names that play in Orlando, and we sometimes forget that even though Orlando might seem like some landlocked, boring family town that's next to Disney World, there's a lot of young adult stuff happening here.
Oh, all the time, yeah.
Especially like you said with the music industry, and like I feel like it's specifically bass that's really taking over or house that's taking over the Orlando area.
I mean, I feel like other people around, like you said, don't really consider Orlando like this super fun, like going out, going to shows town, but everybody goes to EDM shows like all the time, like every weekend, even during the week. It's like a huge market for that.
I mean, my first concerts in the EDM industry were here in Orlando.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a really good market, and yeah, like house is getting huge. Like the bass scene in Orlando, I feel like when I moved here it was a lot bigger, but it's definitely moving into more house. But I love both, so they're both a vibe.
Excellent. When was your first festival?
Ooh, my first festival was, I think, Shaky Beats in Atlanta, in like 2017 or something like that. Which it was at like Centennial Park or something, and it actually doesn't even happen anymore.
Wait, question. Just curious. What grade were you in 2017?
I was a senior in high school. I know. I'm young. I'm super young.
I was about to say, because I was going into my first senior year of college in 2017.
Oh, yeah?
I graduated 2018. I'm an old fart.
Oh, really? I thought you graduated way later than that.
Nah, I just have a baby face because Asians don't raisin.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, I had just turned 18, and that's when I started going to like shows and stuff in Atlanta, and that's when it kind of kicked off.
Were you ever intimidated as like someone who just became a quote unquote legal adult, and you go to these shows and all this stuff's happening, and are you like, this was a bad idea?
No, I had so much fun.
Really?
Yeah, literally, like every show, every festival, like I had so much fun. But yeah, that was my first festival, and then yeah, just moving here and seeing like such a big scene, like I just wanted to get super involved. So started promoting, doing all that stuff, and then I actually met the owner of Home Base at a res show at the fairgrounds or something.
I went to that actually.
Did you?
That was like my first ever EDM singular concert.
That was an awesome show.
It was.
That was really dope.
I mean, granted, I had some friends who did acid, but they were like, Danny, since it's your first show, you probably shouldn't do it. And I'm like, that's
they
probably
gave you the
smart
fair
idea.
warning.
Yeah. Which
They're good friends.
They are good friends. I mean, granted, they kind of spaced out towards the end, but you're right.
Yeah.
Those are good friends.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great show. So I met the owner of Home Base there, and I actually had attended Home Base earlier that year, and I kind of just like shot in the dark and was like, hey, I don't care what I do, like I just want to work for your company, like it's really, really cool. And like took forever for him to respond, and then I just like ran into him at the res show, and I was like, my name's Elliott. I just like introduced myself, and he was like, oh yeah, like we'll definitely like have a call or something. And I didn't really have any experience except for my own social media, but he ended up hiring me, just kind of giving me a chance and training me as much as he could. And that's when it kind of led to growing into a bigger marketing position and just learning as I grew, meeting connections in the industry, and here I am.
Wow. That's so inspiring.
Such a love story.
It really is, but you know what? You're getting stuff done, and for that, you know, it makes people like me just think, dang, we really need to step on our stuff in order we need to progress.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I hate the term when people say like, oh, like you just got lucky. Because like I hate when people say that to like anybody.
One major reason I have you on the show is because I know it wasn't just luck. I don't know, Elliot. It's like when I first knew you, I knew you had a certain gumption, a certain drive about you. And I'm like, this girl's different.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Because I feel like in the back of my mind, obviously not like better than everyone, like, oh, like I want to do such big things.
You
but
have
it's
ambition.
Like, I feel like I never actually put it out like that. So it's cool to hear from other people like that.
What's wrong with accomplishing more?
You're right.
And yet you're doing it. There are a lot of people, even me, I have my moments where I'm just like, I keep talking the big talk, oh, I'm going to do this, but you're doing it.
Well, I mean, there's always bigger and better things that I want to do too. It's especially like just growing in the music industry. There's like so many more things that I want to do than I'm doing right now. Other people, they're like, oh, you made it. But like, there's so much more that I want to do now that like I'm at this like point. I feel like I'm still at the very bottom. Like I'm still trying to get to where I want to be 10, 15 years.
Of course, and everything comes with time. time. And one thing that my father always told me is that you can't teach experience. And so granted that will come, but you're definitely on the right trajectory in order to make that happen, especially with the work that you've been putting in.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Of course, Miss Hunt. Anyways, working for Homebase, I remember seeing your posts about it. For those who are not really well versed in this genre of music, what exactly is Homebase?
During the week of EDC Orlando, and it's basically like a hotel or resort buyout. So what Homebase does is they will basically rent out an entire resort and have people purchase rooms so they stay on site. They have shuttles that take you to and from EDC Orlando and back. And there's like pool parties beforehand. And then when you come back, there's after parties until 6 a.m.
Wait, did you say 6 a.m.?
6 a.m., yeah. So there's like pool parties until like 4, and then you get on a shuttle, you go to EDC, the shuttle takes you back to the resort, and it's basically a huge party.
Well, that's way past my bedtime.
I know.
In fact,
it's past mine, and I used to have to work those late hours.
Well, kudos to you because not many people could actually do that.
It was a crazy experience, but I learned so much from Homebase. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for Homebase.
What's something unique you've learned from your experiences with Homebase?
Specifically Homebase? I think definitely organization would be something that affected me personally. I think while I worked with Homebase, I was still always in school, but I worked full time. So the organization on my part was definitely lacking. And that's what made me kind of learn to get organized and be like, I work from home and this is my responsibility. I think as like an industry learning process for me, or something that I learned through Homebase, I think would probably be meeting as many people as you can industry-wise and connection-wise, because everybody who works in music or in entertainment will go to like every event. There's a huge, I wouldn't say party scene, but no matter how old you are, if you're in this sort of industry, like everyone likes to show face and kind of go out, like kind of like Greek life, which is kind of crazy.
Just goes to show you how some people really don't change.
I know.
They just learn how to make more money
I
off
know.
of it.
I see the point of like being facey and whatnot. Like I hate that word. Like that word like gives me PTSD. But at the same time, like it is super important for like making connections and stuff. Because I actually met the owner of Imagine at Homebase.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
so that's how that whole thing happened.
It's a huge domino effect, I guess.
Exactly. I accidentally like bumped into him and I was like, oh, I know you. Definitely a big learning thing was to talk to as many people as you can, because you never know who they are.
Networking is key.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We were both in Greek life at the University of Central Florida, and it's funny how some people that we have partied with are now doing like super big things.
I know.
And then you're just like, man, I've seen you hammered and throwing up over a
yeah,
toilet.
I saw you in saddle over the toilet, like dead asleep 2 years ago.
And yet here you are, a big personality. Well, hopefully these photos don't leak. Excuse me?
Yeah. You have all the tea.
I do actually have a blackmail folder that is 300 pictures strong.
Do you actually?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I mean, it's never to harm anybody, but it's still pretty funny
Just in
to look
case.
back. Of course.
You never know.
If I ever meet someone who I met back in college and I meet their kids, I'll be like, hey, do you want to see an embarrassing picture of your parents? Oh my God, absolutely.
I would hope people who had kids that were in Greek life like probably wouldn't be hanging around downtown Orlando.
I mean, like at alumni shows.
Oh, yeah.
Or like tailgates.
Totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like them as college kids. In family-friendly environments, when we're old farts and we don't care about
Ew.
what the prospect of growing up.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm 26, so... Oh, I'm turning 27 next month.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
My birthday was on Saturday.
Oh, well, happy belated. Oh, wait, that's
Thank
right.
you.
I already said happy birthday.
Yeah. I turned 23. I feel so young but so old at the same time, because like all my friends are like older than me, because even like in work I'm obviously the youngest person.
You're mature.
Yeah,
That's the word we'll go for.
that is the word.
Mum's the word? No, it's mature. So what have been your favorite EDM concerts that you've been to?
Oof.
Outside of working them,
Yeah.
you must surely enjoy them.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. I mean, I feel like even more now, I like to enjoy them more than work them, just because like that's what I do for work, but also for fun. So I try to like have a balance.
And you make sure to have that like disconnect of work and
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. Me and a bunch of my friends just went to Lost Lands in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
That was like 3 weeks ago.
That's a camping one, right?
Yeah. That's probably my favorite festival
Really?
all time. Yeah. Or like Okeechobee. I really do love Okeechobee.
I've yet
even
to
though
go.
it's like in our backyard.
I want to.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You have to go this year. The lineup is really good.
And I'm from South Florida, so if anything, I could visit my parents, like,
Exactly.
in the off.
The weather is always just so good, and the vibes are just always right. You know, when you like go to EDC and like see literally everyone that you don't want to see. I feel like Okeechobee is like so spread out that you just see like your friends and you're hanging out with your friends. Like I hate seeing like people that I don't want to see
Like
at
Wooks.
a show or at a festival. Like what?
Like the Wooks.
Yeah, but also just like people from like, this sounds so bad, but people from like Greek life. Oh my God. The last person I want to see when I'm like super drunk, like at a festival is like someone from Greek life.
Oh my God, I can't handle this cocaine.
No, they're like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I'm like, I haven't talked to you in like 3 years. Don't act like you want to see me right now.
Let's hang out when we get back.
Yeah, that's always, everyone
You're-
always says that.
You're probably going to forget this conversation the moment we walk away.
Yeah. I mean, I feel guilty. I have said that before for sure, but only to get people away from me.
I don't blame you, because sometimes people suck and sometimes you don't want to deal with them. And we all have a social battery that can only last so long.
Exactly. I'm very like friend oriented, so when I'm with, I have like a huge group of friends, so like when we're all together, I just want to be with my friends. I don't want to be like with anyone else.
I 100% agree. You have nothing to feel dumb for.
Well, thank you.
There's some people that you can just tell, okay, they're harmless, but then there's some people who are like really boisterous or loud, and then it's just like, I don't even know you, but I want you to shut up.
Yeah, like running through the crowd, like just acting a fool. I'm like hiding my face so that they don't see me in the crowd.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a dick here, but whenever I'm at a show and the bass drops, I'm just vibing, I'm not headbanging, but then the one guy in the crowd like is going, hey,
Oh my God,
hey.
like the fan clacking too.
Well, exactly. And then it's just like, we know when the beat's dropping, we're here with you. You don't have to say
You
it.
don't have to say A every single time.
I don't even need to hear the music. I just feel the music pulsing through my body.
Exactly.
And I already know when to like go forward.
Exactly. Well, you have to go to Okeechobee. It's a good one.
Well, I would if I wasn't broke.
I mean, we're all broke out here. It's hard.
So I just don't want to become even more broke, because I'm already like a Kardashian wedding kind of broke. I don't need to go any further.
Well, you can always do like the work exchange. Have you heard of those programs?
Oh, you mean like being like a volunteer there?
Yeah, like so a lot of festivals have like the volunteer exchange or like work exchange program is what they'll call them, and like you work 2 8-hour shifts. It could either be before or like after the festival or during, and like you get a free ticket.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So I mean, it's kind of annoying because you never know what you're gonna do. I have never done the work exchange programs for anything, but I've like
I actually have a cousin that did one for Bonnaroo.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well he or she probably got like stuck doing the bitch work.
He said he enjoyed it, so...
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a free ticket that's like value of $400. It's a good time. I actually ran the work exchange program at Imagine in 2019.
Oh, really?
And it was very interesting seeing the people who would come in, because we like scheduled them out like their 2 shifts for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the people that would come to the desk at like early in the morning and be like, I feel sick. Because like they're already in, they already have their ticket. So like they're like, oh, I just like feel sick. Like I just don't think I can work. Obviously we can't be like, you have to work.
Yeah.
But then like at the same time, it's like, I know you're just going to go inside the festival and enjoy it with your friends, which
How can you blame them?
I don't blame them at all, but it was just like funny to see how many people would do that.
It sounds like the system is in a way where, that can happen. Hopefully they listen to this and are like, okay, let's change our work exchange policy.
Yeah,
program.
exactly. If you work in work exchange, be nice to the people who coordinated it.
Because they're also dealing with staff shortages.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Not to spill that tea, but that's just tea overall.
I mean, that's the whole point of having the work exchange. There are like so much staff shortages like everywhere, even in events.
Exactly. It's called an exchange, not a thanks, peace
Yeah.
out.
Here's your free ticket and thank you. You're welcome. Bye.
And whoever wants a free ticket can just stop by. Wait a minute, we don't have to kill each other? No, you never had to.
It's like Squid Game.
Oh, speaking of Squid Game, I was actually just speaking about that with my sister, because it's like Korean media is slowly taking over Netflix, I feel like. I don't know, it's just kind of cool to look at.
It is cool. I actually haven't seen the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, but I've just had so much work.
Yeah.
But I've also been learning Korean recently because my mom never taught me, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
That's cool when I can like hear maybe one word that I recognize, and I'm like, hooray, progress.
I'm like a huge person about like dubbed shows. Like I don't like love watching shows that are like in a different language and then like dubbed over of English, because like I get so distracted by like their mouths. I don't know. But then I also hate subtitles, so I can't watch something with subtitles. So that's why I'm not watching Squid Game, because I feel like I can't win in either situation.
True, and plus the translation is sometimes, just lost.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned about some things in Korean is that, like, some direct English translations aren't exactly exact. And so, therefore, lost in translation is a real thing.
I mean, I would assume so. The languages are obviously so different.
Mm-hmm. It's in the middle of the week, so sorry if I'm not, like, the most excited, but really, I'm just so proud of you for doing all of that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, when you're at the festivals, when you're not working, who are some definite artists that you would go, not sneak off to see, but, like, who would you want to go see?
My favorite artist right now is probably Immersive. He's like a super experimental bass artist. I've actually met him a couple times. He's super nice. But he's definitely somebody that I would sneak off and see.
Got it.
Another person, I'm trying to think about what's in my Spotify right now. All my friends DJ as well. So anytime that they're playing, I'm always there. Shout out to Burse. He's like my best friend. I'm trying to think of anyone else.
Well, for doing that, then shout out to Tink and Rube.
Oh, love Tink. I actually just talked to him a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. I'm actually trying to get him on the cast as well.
Oh, that'd be sick. That would be awesome.
Surprisingly, there is a lot of local talent.
There's so much local talent. It's like amazing. And it's crazy to see how much local talent from Orlando is like getting big. Acraze and like...
Wait, Acraze is from Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have not have noticed that.
Yeah, I used to work with Enjoy events,
Okay.
Talkover.
Oh, yeah.
The event Talkover.
I've seen plenty of those ads.
Yeah. So the owner of Enjoy actually manages Acraze. So they're from Orlando. We all love them. So it's actually crazy to see that he's like blowing up right now.
Like his remix of Do It To It.
Yeah. It blew up. It's like on the top 40 charts right now. It's like crazy how that happens. But yeah, there's a lot of good local support acts in Orlando, and there's always people filtering through. It's not like the same 5 people that are playing everywhere, which is really cool.
It's funny how a lot of these DJs are also frat boys.
Yeah, Tink.
Yeah, he was in mine, so I'll take the hit for that. But still, I mean, if you have opportunities for parties for you to play at, and then people can sample your stuff, like you meeting those 2 guys, it just takes one person to set your whole life in a much better trajectory.
Yeah, and being in a fraternity and being a DJ, like you already have that support system, so it's definitely a lot better when you already have that support system. So
Correct. But even then, sometimes, because all of y'all are still in school, it's hard to support them. But it's kind of cool how you can, like, see some of these guys, play really small venues, and yet you go to support them because they're your boys. And next thing you know it, they're popping off and, playing at some big festival. And then it's just like, I've seen that kid hammered, and yet there he is on stage.
Exactly.
Funny
on the huge EDC stage.
Funny where life takes you sometimes. Actually, it's funny you mention that because there's a kid that I played hockey with growing up, and he's playing in both EDC, Vegas, and Orlando.
Nice.
His name is Soren.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really listened to his music just yet.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard anything of his.
Proud of him for making both EDCs, so...
I'll definitely check it out, though.
Yeah, definitely have to check him out as well, so good job, Soren. Good job, Bryce.
Yep. Well, what is your favorite artist at the moment?
Well...
EDM-wise.
I was about to say, how I describe my musical library, it's like musical ADHD. I would say that because EDM is not my favorite musical genre per se, however, it is definitely starting to become one of the most favorites. If the genres bounce all over the place, I apologize. So, for example, I love Rez. I like Chris Lake. I don't know if Daft Punk counts.
It does. Definitely does.
Okay. That's like early predecessor kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do appreciate a good 7-line set.
Okay. So you like the melodic
Yeah.
dubstep, but also like, I don't even know what Rez would be. She's just like dark, like bass dubstep.
Spoopy?
Yeah, spoopy stuff.
Okay, that sounds really odd, but whenever I hear some of her music, it makes you want to fight people. It fires you up.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I feel like my library is also like ADHD. I don't listen to EDM all the time. You can't. Like if someone says that they listen to EDM all day, every day, or every time they listen to music, they're lying.
That's such a lie because
there's just like there's no way.
I can already think of like going into hour 2 of just listening to just really heavy wubs and just be like, nope, we're not listening to this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a mood thing. I listen to EDM when like about to do something fun or driving intensely.
I was just talking about this with someone on another podcast, how we can't listen to really high-paced songs while we're driving because we will speed.
Oh, 100%.
Like AC/DC, do not throw that on when I'm in the car.
Just don't even think about it.
Especially for the fact that, Shoot to Thrill was used for, like, when Iron Man was flying, so I sometimes imagine my car can, like, fly as fast as Iron Man, but then I realize I probably shouldn't do this if I don't want to get seen.
Yeah, no, well, I definitely agree. That's one certain song. I mean, I do listen to a lot of rap, too. Rap, like, gets me speeding, too.
Who are some people that get you amped up?
I love Future. I've been loving Don Toliver recently.
He is good.
He's good. His new album is really good. I like A$AP Rocky. I love A$AP.
Fair enough.
And
I'm more of a Ferg guy, but I do respect Rocky.
Rocky, his just like old stuff is so great.
I also do like how he's more of a trippy vibe.
Yeah. That one album that has the song LSD, I forgot what it's called, but that entire album is so good.
I like the song Peso.
I don't know if
like every day we in a peso, gun chuck, gun cock,
oh yeah.
boy.
I do know that song now that you sing it. But yeah, that is a good song.
'Cause every day we in a peso.
I do like that song a lot.
My favorite line is ABC's bad bitch double D's poppin' E. I don't give an F.
Oh, you know
I'm
the whole
G.
thing.
It's a fantastic bar.
That is that is a great song. That is a gas bar, though.
Actually, another gas bar that's like one of my favorites of all time is in the song Money Trees by Kendrick Lamar and J-Rock. It's when J-Rock goes, I got them drums and I got them bands just like a parade, bitch. And I was like, damn.
Bet.
Absolutely. I know there's actually been a lot of collabs between EDM and rappers now. It's kind of got like hip-hop, grimy kind of vibe, but then it hits you like a brick wall with that bass dropping or something like that.
The EDM people who are just like getting a little bit out of it, like Marshmello, and like Eptic. Have you ever heard of Eptic? He like has a song with a rapper now, but I do feel like it's getting more popular, but I feel like I don't really like those songs.
In my opinion, at least, they're good for certain times. For example, there's this one song, I forgot what it's called specifically, but it's with JID and Boombox Cartel. That's, really heavy hitting, and it's very similar to a song by Sullivan King that they partnered up with Papa Roach out of all people.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a headbanger?
No, I wouldn't say that. I don't really love like dubstep, like textbook definition of like dubstep now. I used to love it, but I feel like I was just not as knowledgeable with all the different types of EDM music, because there really is. There's like a whole spectrum of EDM music. Like there's so many things that you can't even put like a genre onto.
It's not even it's just not electronic anymore, because you got drum and bass, you have house, melodic house, deep house.
There's so many like sub-genres of genres. It's crazy how like deep it goes, but I do like I said, listen to a lot of freeform bass, like experimental bass, more than like dubstep, which is a lot different to me.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I disapprove of is the fact that you don't like Porter Robinson.
I don't. It's very sad boy. And I do like R&B. It has that like sexual element, but it also has the sad element to it. I don't know. I just feel like Porter is just like, it's too...
Okay, well,
need some more excitement.
Well, you called me a sad boy, so it's all right. I'll embrace it.
We're all sad boys, though, sometime.
I'll buy my oversized sweater with my bucket hat sometime soon. Don't worry.
Well, I feel like... What was that? His festival that he has?
I totally
Second Sky?
I forgot what it's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's very like anime, I feel like the whole theme around it, and I feel like that's kind of what he's like portraying.
He is
but like
very
that's
kawaii.
just not what I'm super into, so.
He's very kawaii. You're not wrong about that.
Yeah.
Do you like Odessa?
I do. I don't like love them, but I do love Odessa. Like, who doesn't love Odessa?
They're like one of my top 5 musical artists of all time.
Oh yeah. Do you like Rufus?
I'm okay with Rufus Del Sol. I actually saw Odessa when they were at UCF. They played 3 years ago, the year I graduated.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and actually
That's cool.
Got tickets for the ground level, and it was on pre-sale, so I got it for like $75. And since I was one of the first people there, my belly was literally against the railing separating the stage from the crowd.
Oh, yeah?
So
that's cool.
Also, another interesting tidbit is that I'm on the autism spectrum, so one thing about huge festivals and people with autism, they're not really supposed to go together because really loud noises make most individuals on the spectrum like really upset.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that I was in front of an EDM, set with the speakers pointed at me and I was loving every second of it, that's just odd.
It's just the love for the music. That's all it is.
I guess
which
that's
is really cool though. But Odessa is awesome. It's very feel good and dance and cry and laugh.
It's also sad boyish in a sense.
It is sad boy a little bit, but I think it's more feel good.
It is very feel good, and
Yeah.
they're always used for like those nature videos, or at least I have a buddy out west. His name is Andrew Sims. He's a guy I rushed CBT with, and he is an amazing videographer and photographer of like nature stops with him living on the road in his Jeep. And
cool.
he always makes a lot of his videos to like Odessa songs, and
it just fits.
it just fits.
Yeah, it does really fit. I've seen a lot of videos that are like very travel-esque that use a lot of Odessa songs.
It's not basic per se. It's just, it feels right.
I agree 100%.
Although now that I think about it, there is this one song with Porter Robinson and Matt Zoe, I think it was. They played the song called Shelter, and it was just really sorority girl.
Like the step clapping type sorority, like they're about to open the doors at recruitment.
Something like that. Or like when everybody's running back to their house and just everyone's running to each other's arms and crying. You know, that's just like the kind of music correct for that set. Either way, it makes me sick. So, yeah.
Well, fuck that.
For real. It's funny because as soon as the sorority ends, half of those best friends forevers will snap like that.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. I mean, the only people that I keep up with from Zeta are like Mac and Alexis, and I live with them and they're my best friends. Like that's like literally the only people.
I feel
and
that.
A couple more people, but it's pretty slim. But I wasn't in it all 4 years. I like dipped really quickly. I was like, all right, bye.
I don't blame you. Granted, Greek life helped me with my social problems, especially with especially like with being on the spectrum. So, you know, you gave me the right push. I've come to learn that as long as you don't just use it for the partying opportunities, and if you use it actually for like networking and like making yourself a better person, it does good stuff.
Definitely. I mean, I agree for sure. I definitely probably didn't do that enough, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and plus you're already high ranking compared to a lot of people you know. So there you go.
I guess you could say that.
You're making moves, kid. That's all you need to know.
Thank you.
23, thinking you're old. You know, it's actually funny because I'm actually allergic to watermelon.
Are you?
Yeah, but for some odd reason, the watermelon juice does not affect me.
Is it even real watermelon though?
I guess not, because if
It's
it
like
was,
artificial watermelon.
I was gonna say, because if it was real watermelon, the inside of my mouth would be really itchy right
Yeah,
now.
that sounds like it sucks.
How many festivals do you think you've been to in your life, would you say?
Probably like 30,
30?
maybe like 25.
God damn.
If you're counting like doubles, because I've been to like some like more than once.
Sure, yeah, we'll count it.
So like, yeah, probably around that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So besides Lost Lands, what's like the other craziest one have you been to?
Electric Forest is so much fun. That one's great.
That's in Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. I've always heard about that, but tell me about that one, actually.
So it's on this huge farm, pretty much. Lots of trees in this one specific area inside the festival. It's run by Insomniac, so same as EDC and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very like outdoorsy and more like feel good and vibey. And then at night, the whole entire forest is LED lights everywhere, like just like
Wait,
crazy beautiful.
Did you say LSD lights?
LED lights.
Oh.
No. It just turns to like something really cool. There's like stages inside the forest. It was just overall a really good vibe. So it's really fun.
One thing about festivals that, you know, since I've never actually been to like one of those like camping festivals, you know, I realize there's like a lot of activities like, you know, yoga or like maybe arts and crafts, but like I'm guessing that's all interspersed through the day. So like, for example, if you don't want to go to one concert, you just go to one of those things, or like how do you navigate through all that? Because I feel like personally, I just want to do everything.
So everyone always says that, but it's like actually impossible to do everything. But there's like so much stuff to do. There's workshops, like you said, yoga. I'm trying to think of random ones that are at festivals. Like at Okeechobee, they have like a tea lounge and like little plays. Like people will do like comedy shows and stuff like that. I know that at one year, I don't know what festival it was at, there's like a cooking show and then like meditation and stuff. So it's like literally impossible to do everything. I've always been like more of a person that wants to go see the music. So every year I'm always like, or for any festival, I'm like, I want to do yoga this year and actually do it. But like, I'm not about to get up at 9:30 in the morning to go do yoga.
Correct.
But like,
you're still recovering from the night before.
I know. It's like we go to bed at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I can't get up at 9 to go do yoga, but there is like so much stuff to do. And obviously vendors, stuff to buy, of course. But yeah, it's like physically impossible to do absolutely everything.
So since I've never done this, and as for anybody who wants to go and try to camp out but that hasn't done so, how's the bathroom situation there?
Horrible.
I knew it.
Horrible. If you want to use a real bathroom, you got to get VIP because they have like the air conditioned bathrooms that like actually flush.
Oh, that's how they get you, don't they?
Yeah. That's why the tickets are like double the amount, but all you're getting is like a bathroom. But honestly, it's like
It's
as
worth
I
it.
get older, I'm like, okay, I
It's
think
worth
I
it.
need that bathroom because like after a certain point in the day, like when everyone wakes up and everyone's like walking around, the porta potties get so nasty. Like I have horror stories from like what I've seen from some porta potties at some festivals. So like I would seriously spend an extra $200 to get VIP, but like all of my friends like are like, no, like we don't need it, so I'm not gonna go camp by myself.
Fair.
So yeah.
It's like, fine, I'm camping by myself, but at least I have a bathroom, bitches. So have fun taking a dump in one porta potty at the same time in order to see what you want.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to deal with. Like every porta potty I open, it's like a surprise. Like you don't know what's going to be in there. It could be decently clean, and then at the end of the week, like clean is not actually clean, but then you're like, it's the cleanest, so I'm just gonna go and suck it up and go in
Correct.
there.
Only 75% of this toilet seat is covered in crap, so I feel safe sitting here. I can only just think, like, for a woman, it's way more difficult because you have to sit all the time.
Yeah, all the time. It's like I'm laying toilet paper down on every single inch of it, and then not even sitting on it. I'm just like squatting.
And the worst part is, it's not just the physical part. You kind of wish you had like some nose plugs or something as well.
Oh my gosh, especially when you're like hungover in the morning.
Well, at least if you have to throw up, you can just put your head in there and you just get it over with.
I would just throw up in the grass if I needed to throw up. I wouldn't even go in there. It would just make me throw up more.
There's actually one time there was this show. The show was called 1001 Ways to Die.
I remember that show.
And so one episode, this rocker ran out of drugs. And so there was this thing called Jankum that essentially was fermented porta potty contents. And like you let it just ferment for a few days and then you put your head in there and like whatever you inhale gives you like hallucinations. Granted,
What?
yeah. And somehow a guy died from ODing on that. It's probably...
That was like a thing that people actually did?
Well, I think this one guy did specifically, but still.
That is crazy.
I'm never...
What is this world?
Granted, this was back in 2010s. It's not even 2020s yet, so...
I know.
There's something new every day that's just like...
I'm sure somebody's doing something worse now than that.
I mean, if people are sniffing paint, I'm not surprised.
That's definitely a thing. People definitely do that.
People are always looking for new ways to get high.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
It's kind of like the first ancestors of man, where they're like, don't eat the poisonous berries. And they're like, well, how do you know that's poisonous? Because...
Someone had to do it.
Correct. Then everybody learned, don't eat this berry because Greg over here died.
Exactly. 100%. Someone has to do it.
Besides EDM and rap, what else is in your musical repertoire?
R&B a lot. I love SZA and I love Brent Faiyaz. Is that how you say his last name?
Oh, Brent Faiyaz.
Yeah.
I think that's...
He's great. Love him. Who else? I'm scrolling through my Spotify right now in my head.
Your mental Spotify.
Yeah.
Not saying that I like her, but Beyonce's R&B, right?
Yeah, I would consider Beyonce R&B. I don't really listen to Beyonce though. I listen to like more newer stuff. Willow is great.
You think Willow's great?
Yeah, I think her music, her album, like the one with the numbers that she just released, is great. I love Willow.
She's kind of weird. However, I do like that song, Wait a Minute. It just popped up randomly in my Discover Spotify weekly.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I don't completely hate this.
Yeah. I feel like I probably listen to R&B the most.
Really?
Just because like when I'm working, it's just like background music. I'm not listening to like hardcore heavy EDM or like rap music that's distracting. Like it's more like calmer. I also love The Weeknd and I love Party Next Door. Those are probably my top two favorites.
The Weeknd is a very talented man. I'll give him
His
that.
new stuff sucks. I mean, I must say, all the pop shit, I hate all the pop music songs. Like, it has to be old Weeknd or even off of
grimy, like you want to take your clothes off kind of Weeknd.
That's what I love.
I remember when I was working at an acai bowl place and they played his song, isn't it Wipe Your Tears Away or something like that, or Save Your Tears for Another Day. There we go. And so when I heard that, I go, wait a minute, is this The Weeknd? Because I heard the voice and I'm like, it sounds like him, but this music's too bitchy to be him. And then
he does play a lot. He has a lot of bitchy songs now. I hate that shit. I like his old stuff.
Especially like when he wrote that song for 50 Shades of Grey. Isn't it called Worth It? I think it's called Worth It, or
He made a couple songs for that movie.
yeah, like when I heard that song, I was like, good
I think it is
Lord.
Worth It. Yeah.
I was like, good Lord, this is sexual. I wouldn't want to hear this in the theater because I feel like a couple next to me would just be making out and be like, bro, could you like get a room?
But like I don't think about it like that really, because like I know all the words to it, so I'm like singing along to it, which is what I like. I'm actually a really good singer.
Are you though?
But I literally don't. I will never sing. I hate singing. Like I don't like doing it, and I have the worst stage fright.
So how do we know if you're a good singer or not? I'm just
The
kidding.
world may never know. In my head, I am a good singer. I got a record deal when I was, how old was I? I think I was like 13 or 14.
Oh?
And I ended up just turning it down because I was like so stressed out. I was just so young. I went to the recording studio, and then they like walked me and they met me, or they introduced me to this one girl that was the same age, and she was like, yeah, she's a recording artist with us now. Like this will be your future. And she was like, I literally come here after school and I'm here until 11 o'clock at night every single day. I'm here. I don't have any weekends. And I was like, I'm 13. Like I'm not trying to slave away to work. Like my parents also weren't too crazy about it. So that's one of my secrets.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually. Well, it's a good thing that she didn't go the Britney Spears route.
Yeah, I mean, who knows like where I would be right now. Like I definitely would not be here.
I don't know, drugged up on some yacht halfway around the world.
Bald with some, yeah, who even knows?
If you think about it, bald's kind of not becoming a look, but there's some women who can pull off being bald.
It is though. I honestly love the hairstyle that's just kind of like you just have a little
buzzed
bit
down?
Yeah, like buzzed, but then it's like a color or something like pink or like orange. Like I feel like that's really cool.
You've dyed your hair recently, right?
Like colors?
Yeah.
I was pink and purple like in 2019. I was like the entire year I was like interchanging between colors.
Nice.
But it ruined my hair, so I stopped doing it.
Oh, really?
My hair was like falling out. And then it actually ended up, I did it this one purple, but it was like so dark and my hair is just really light that it stained my hair. And like I literally couldn't get it out. And then I had to go somewhere and get it removed.
Really?
And then when they removed it, my hair was green. And so the pigments in the purple were like more of a green. So when you mix it with like bleached hair, because my hair is obviously bleached, like it just turned green. So I literally had to dye it pink because like red cancels out green, and then like do the whole process over again, and then took it out. But it was like crazy. I was like, my hair needs a break. But I actually am thinking about dyeing it purple like in a few weeks.
Nice. Hopefully with a much different product.
Yeah, definitely not doing that shit ever again.
So did you like go to Walgreens and like buy like a brand, or like did you go with like a professional when you dyed your hair?
The first time I ever did it, I went to a professional, and she just kind of like was like, this is the brand if you want to like touch it up. Like there's like good brands and really bad brands, and a lot of the good ones, like, you know how like there's beauty stores but you have to have like a membership to go in them?
Actually, no, I don't know about this.
Well, or not like a membership, but like you have to be like a hairstylist or like have some sort of like certificate.
It's probably like a hair supply store. So
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Makes sense.
So you can only really get them there. So like she would pick them up for me and I would pay her. So
okay, got
that's
it.
how it worked. And then I ended up just finding an alternative on Amazon, and she said it was like the same. So I started using that, but it worked.
Awesome. It's funny because you and Mac were like little twins back then with both of you and your purple hair.
Yeah, we called each other yin and yang, but the pink and purple version. But now we're actually yin and yang because like we say that a lot because she's like has all dark features, dark hair, and I'm like really light features, blonde hair. So
you do complement each other very well as friends.
Thank you. That's sweet. We like I've never really had like a brunette friend. Like all my friends growing up were always blonde, which is weird.
Interesting.
But yeah, she's cute.
Well, well, birds of a feather fly together, and well, you two are different, but that's nice.
Yes,
you
exactly.
embrace those differences.
Definitely.
And that's what the EDM community is all about: peace, love, unity, respect.
Yep.
Player.
Sometimes.
And then exchanging of bands.
Yeah.
After meeting the guy for Imagine at home base, tell us a little bit about your time there, your journey through that whole thing.
So after meeting him at home base, we exchanged contact info, and we actually scheduled a couple of calls about getting hired. That was back in 2019. But I was still with home base, and obviously it was full time. So I was just like, let's just revisit this maybe in the future. Still want to keep the relationship for sure. But in 2020, the worst year of everyone's life, obviously I left home base and then just kind of like reached out to him and was like, hey, I know we talked a year ago. It's been an entire year, but let's chat again. So that's kind of how everything started for Imagine. But I also do marketing for Iris. Iris owns Imagine, and Iris also does like weekly EDM shows in Atlanta at a venue called Believe Music Hall. Mm-hmm. So the owners of Imagine also own Believe Music Hall. So it's kind of like there's like a lot of different companies that like I technically work for, but it's all under like
one umbrella.
Yeah, one umbrella of like Iris Presents. So I do the weekly EDM events. I do all of the marketing for that in Atlanta, but then also do the marketing for Imagine. So it's kind of like doing both, which is a lot of work.
Sounds like your brain was ready to blow up.
Yeah, the months of like June to September, like I was literally on my computer all day, every day. Like it was crazy.
Sounds like every gamer's dream.
Yeah, that's why everybody works in it, or the people who do work in events, when you do work so hard for something, because it is like a lot of work, like you're putting like 60, 70 hours towards something a week. And then obviously like when you get to the event, like it's so much fun. Like you obviously are still working, but it's like kind of like, oh, this is why I do this, because I get to go on site and work an event and do like what I love. So that's why it was so upsetting about the cancellation, because it's like we were literally all there. I was in my RV chilling. It was starting to rain, and we all were like, yeah, like it's just, this is gonna be bad. So that's why it was super upsetting about all of that, because working so hard towards something and then it just you're waiting for that like one weekend of just like, this is like everything makes sense now.
Everything's all coming together, and then all of a sudden Mother Nature reclaims what's hers.
Exactly. So
listen, you did everything you could, and I'm pretty sure, through your posts and through your social media, like I iterated before, is that people were hype about this. You made sure to bring the content that the people wanted in order to get hype about it. So I guess, yes, while it was upsetting, I feel like another reason why it was even more upsetting is because they were so hyped based on what you put out there.
Yeah.
So not only did you do your job, but you did it flawlessly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a huge team. I mean, the marketing team is huge. So shout out to all of them for all the hard work. But yeah, it was a lot. And it was definitely the biggest team I've ever worked with so far. So it was really cool to see like how everything came together, like working with such a big team. But yeah, it was definitely upsetting, but we made the best out of it. We had shows at Believe Music Hall all weekend, like basically brought all the artists, not all of them, but most of the artists that were on the lineup into the venue.
While working home base and Imagine and all these other festivals, who are some of the coolest DJs you've met?
That I've met? Mm-hmm. Damn, that's a hard one because there's a lot. I'm trying to like go back to all the people that I've met in my brain.
Take your time.
This is going to sound like so annoying that I'm even saying this because it's my favorite artist, but Mersive was so cool. Like he was really, really awesome. Bonnie and Clyde are really nice. They're like awesome, which I didn't really expect that. I thought they were going to be kind of like stuck up, which is the thing with artists. You never know. Like when you approach them and like say something, like they could be so mean and just like want nothing to do with you, or they could be so, so nice. And they're like, hey, like come hang out with us, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. I've just like grown such a like love for him that he just is like my second dad. But Claude Von Stroke is like the best guy on the entire planet.
Really?
I like worked a little bit with Dirty Bird in 2020, which is his label.
Oh, that's his label. Okay. I've heard of Dirty Bird.
So yeah, it's Claude Von Stroke's label is Dirty Bird, and it's basically Claude Von Stroke and Undy, they're married and they own the label, which is really cool. So I got to work with them for a little bit on like marketing and stuff for Dirty Bird Camp Inn. Mm-hmm. And that was amazing. Like he is literally the like nicest, smartest like artist, like DJ ever, and he's so connected with media, which is why like I love him so much is because he like knows such a vision like when it comes to like media on site and everything. So we just like connected really well, and he's probably like the best artist that I've ever met.
Well, now I want to meet him.
He is awesome. He's like a teddy bear. He's like my second dad, like I said.
Well, dang, I guess I have a new artist to check out then. So thank you for that, Elliott.
Yeah, no, he's dope.
And we have now come to that part of any Big DK Energy podcast, or it's actually my favorite in general, the bonus question round. Don't worry, none of this will get you fired or unhired in the future. So are you ready for this, Elliott?
I am. Let's do it.
Excellent. All right. So these are 10 questions that you do not know about ahead of time. So
I'm nervous.
We're going to have some fun. So question number 1. You're allowed a whole 24 hours with your favorite DJ that is not Klon Von Stroke. Anywhere in the world. Who is the DJ? Where are you two going? And what are you doing that day?
Oh, wow. I feel, okay, so I'm just going to say the first person who came to my brain. But I feel like Diplo, because he's so lit.
Also, he's a UCF alumni.
He is, which is awesome. But I just feel like he lives such a sick life. Like, I'd probably go to, like, Vegas with him and just fucking party. Because it just feels like he's funny and he's a good time.
Well, just make sure you get the gambling money from him.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to pay up.
Question number 2. What is your ideal relaxing scenario?
Laying on the couch with my cat and watching some TV, specifically any trash reality show, because I love trash TV.
What's one of your favorite trash reality shows?
My favorite one is Are You the One on MTV. It's the best reality show I've ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
And they did a season like 3 years ago, that like everyone was bisexual.
Oh, great.
And it's like one of those shows where everyone lives in the same house. Like, they're basically, the goal of the show is that they
couldn't have sex with each other?
No, what show is that? That show was great though. Like, any show that's probably terrible, like, is like reality wise, is great to me. But this
Great.
Are You the One show is like, before they like paired you with a perfect match, and you're trying to find your perfect, there's like an even amount of people and you're trying to find your perfect match.
Got it.
But it actually gets really competitive and really fun, but that's my
Interesting.
favorite reality show.
Man, even I've seen an episode of Bachelors in Paradise, and that was just too much for me.
Oh my gosh, the last season was so good.
Was that the one with John Paul Jones?
No, that was like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, wait, yeah, that was back in 2019. My bad.
It actually just ended like a week ago.
Oh.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Interesting.
Yes.
I don't know. John Paul Jones, besides being like that beach stoner guy, he shares his name with a Revolutionary War hero and the bassist from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
He looks exactly like my cousin. It's like crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Trevor Lawrence in a way. Quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
It's all right.
Like, something sparked in my brain, like I acted like I knew who that was.
Like a brain blast in Jimmy Neutron.
I was like...
Did you watch Jimmy Neutron, though?
Yes, of course. That show is so good.
Hey, Elliot. I think Jimmy's mom is hot.
Carl.
Hey, would you like a croissant?
That's so good.
Appreciate it.
That's really good.
I had no friends growing up, so it gave me plenty of time to practice.
Oh my gosh.
Question number 3. You are creating a festival and all the proceeds goes towards any philanthropy. Who are the 5 main headliners and what does it benefit?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and also, where is the festival held? It doesn't have to be in a specific venue, but, what city?
A place. So...
And it has to be somewhere where festivals don't currently exist. So Orlando, Miami, it has to be someplace completely different.
Okay. So I think if I were to have a festival, I would donate the money to... I'm terrified of Alzheimer's.
My grandpa had Alzheimer's, so
My grandpa also has Alzheimer's. So it scares me that, like, I'm going to get Alzheimer's just from, like...
Hey, did you know my grandpa has Alzheimer's?
What?
Did you know my grandpa has Alzheimer's?
Exactly. It's scary. I was like, what?
You got it, though.
Yeah, I did. But it's like, it scares me, so I probably would donate money towards that. And it's also just really sad. Like, I talked to my grandpa for the first time on the phone in years. Like, we're not really that close, but we talked on the phone, and, like, it was hard to talk on the phone with him. But that's who I'd probably donate to, is some sort of Alzheimer's organization. But the 5 headliners, G. Jones, it's my tattoo. You should look him up.
Got it.
Second one would definitely be LS Dream.
He's good.
I love LS Dream. He's amazing. Claude Von Stroke. Love him. Some house vibes in there. And then Liquid Stranger.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm so mad I didn't bring that up earlier when you asked who my favorite artist is, because he's definitely my top. And then last and final one would probably be Grizz. Grizz is good.
All right.
It's like a little variety. I feel like that's a really good lineup.
That is a very good lineup. And where would this festival be? In some place that is not anywhere that you would expect a festival.
Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia.
Okay.
Somewhere over there. Or maybe like Thailand.
True. I've not heard of any festivals in Thailand.
I know.
Any musical festivals. Because I'm sure they have like all those Buddhist festivals.
Yeah. Cultural stuff.
Of course. Good answer. It'd be really ironic if Enzo played Memory at your Alzheimer's raising concert.
Yeah, that would be like a little hard to listen to.
Number 4. You're having dinner with 3 figures that influence you. Who are they, and what kind of food are you getting?
It doesn't have to be music, just anybody in general.
Just anybody in general.
Sydney Sweeney. She is beautiful, and she's such a good actress.
What was she in?
She was in, what's that show with Zendaya? The really, really popular show. Like, they were in high school.
I can't think of anything. I'm kind of an old fart when it comes to, like, popular media.
Yeah, I don't know what show it's called. But she was also in Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, got it.
A bunch of other things, but those are, like, her main, too, that she was in.
I'll look her up.
She's just amazing. Who else would I have dinner with? This is hard.
But they're not dangerous. So
no, not dangerous. They're just picking my brain right now.
That's the point.
I'm like literally drawing a blank. Justin Bieber? Absolutely. How could I forget? Justin Bieber would be definitely one. I was a huge believer. And then Ryan Gosling.
Wait, not Ryan Reynolds?
No, Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
He's better than Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh. Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I know.
Oh, and the 4B of that question, what kind of food are y'all getting?
Oh, sushi.
Excellent.
100%.
All right.
My fave.
Nice. Any specific place that you like in general?
Like around here or just anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Shikai. Have you ever been to Shikai?
Oh, yeah, in downtown, right?
Yeah, it is amazing. They have a happy hour from 5 to 7 and all the rolls are $5.
Dang.
Yeah.
I've actually been there a couple of times, but I always thought the rolls were way more expensive, so I got something else. Never mind then.
Go during 5 to 7 every single day. It's like $5.
Oh, every day?
Every single day, yeah.
Dang, I might have to go now.
Yep.
There's a place by UCF called Summer Palace, and for $20, it was all you could eat sushi.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I actually...
Was it good sushi, though?
It's pretty good. At least I could eat like 60 pieces, no problem.
60 pounds.
Yeah, not 60. Yeah, 60 pounds of sushi. I could totally do that. Yeah, one time actually, I was on a real like grind at the gym during one summer, and I remember I went and got unlimited sushi with a friend, and then I went to go do 30 minutes on the Stairmaster right afterwards.
Oh yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, it was not a fun time. Longest 30 minutes of my life.
Yeah, I bet.
Number 5. If there's one thing you could change about the EDM industry, what would it be?
That is getting so basic. Like, I feel like there was like...
Wait, that question is basic? Because I can change it.
No. That the community is getting so basic.
Oh, okay, got it.
Because I feel like a lot of people just go for like Instagram pictures, and it's like really annoying. I don't know. I like go and I don't give a fuck about taking pictures. Like, I just want to have fun with my friends. So that's probably what I would change. Just like everyone going and like taking their Instagram pictures and then pretending like they're having fun and then like leaving. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves.
Got it.
But I would also change like on like the industry or work side of it. I would probably change like the ego of it. Like, everyone has a huge ego. Like, They're like, oh yeah, like I do this, I do that. And it's just like, okay, cool. Like, what do you want me to say? It's like a huge competition, pretty much.
Got it. It's like a popularity contest.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, well, I manage this artist. It's like, okay, cool.
That's great, pal. Do you want a cookie?
Yeah, like, what do you want me to say? And then it's like the people who are higher up in the industry, like, they just like talk down to you like you're nothing. So it definitely sucks. It's super competitive and like not for everybody.
Got it.
So,
well, you need to have some kind of pants in order to enter any kind of cutthroat industry like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard at times.
But you somehow managed to push through it.
I don't know how.
You're doing it, though. Fantastic for you for doing that.
Thank you.
Number 6. Give me 2 truths and a lie.
My shoe size is an 11. I had a hedgehog as a pet when I was young. And my weirdest pet peeve is that I don't like when people are late.
It's definitely, the hedgehog is definitely the lie. You have big feet.
Nope.
I'm just kidding. Then in that case, I'm stumped.
I don't have a size 11 feet.
Oh, really? What's your shoe
I did
size?
have a hedgehog as a pet, though.
Was it named Sonic?
No. Obi. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, fair. And and your pet peeve is you just hate when people are late?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Do you have a grace period, or must they arrive on the dot?
I have a grace period of like 5 to 10 minutes, but like phone calls, like even I hate when like I have to be somewhere or like us as a group and like there's one person or like a couple of people that are holding me back. Like I get so angry and I'm just like very like, even if I don't need to be somewhere at a specific time, if we say we're going to meet at this time at this place and we're running behind, like it stresses me out. It's like, I hate it.
My dad's the same way, so I feel that.
My dad is the exact same way. That's why I am who I am.
Okay, got it from your dad.
Yep.
Did you get it from your mama? No, I got it from my dad.
Yep.
Duh.
Dad.
Sure. As you take a swig, number 7. Name the 5 best concert experiences you've had, and name one that you haven't been to, but yet is a must.
Okay, one that I haven't been to that's a must is Shambhala in Canada. It's like it's a music festival. It's very like intimate, super like trippy and cute and vibey, but I've never been.
When you say intimate, is everyone like borderline humping each other?
No. It's just like a little bit of a smaller festival.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean by intimate.
No, yeah, intimate is just meaning like not like tens of thousands of people, just like probably like 5,000 to 6,000 people.
What's the name of it called again?
Shambhala.
Interesting.
So that's definitely a must.
Mm-hmm.
But my 5 best, is it concerts and festivals?
It can be a mixture. It's just like, who are your top 5 artists that you've seen during your time?
Liquid Stranger, Lost Lands 2019, absolutely. That was like my favorite set of my entire life. Also, this is super random, but at Forbidden Kingdom, I think it was in 2019, it was like Excision back-to-back Dion Timmer. That was really, really good. And that was when I was like more in tune with like dubstep, but that was a really fun set. This is so hard.
So I guess my questions do put you on the spot, kind of.
Yeah, I'm stumped.
But at least they're for stuff that's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like non-EDM stuff too.
Got it.
I was going to see Tame Impala until they canceled their show, which is really annoying because it was actually supposed to be this past Sunday.
Really?
Yeah. So I guess that would fall under the must-have, but they're going to be at Okeechobee.
I'll give you 2.
So that is a must-have, so I'm going to take one off.
Okay, fair. But actually, at a concert, they're a really small band. It's called Tennis. They were supposed to play at the Beecham, right here this Saturday, but due to them being super about protection from COVID and how Florida gives no fucks, they don't feel safe here. So
yeah, it happens, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Probably another one would be like Annie G. Jones set.
Okay.
He's great. And probably Justin Bieber when I was like 14.
Oh, that's right. You were a believer.
Yes, a huge believer. And Miley Cyrus, her Bangers tour, I was like 16, but it was so fun. I got like the 3rd row. She was like naked the whole time. It was great.
That's so weird that you like say it from like a school perspective, because when she went through that phase, 2013, that's when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
So would make me sound like more of an old bastard.
You're only like 4 years older or 3 years older than me.
That's a lot. That's a whole college kid.
Nah. I don't see it like that.
Well, thank you. Because one time a 38-year-old woman did ask me out, and so she was pretty and everything, but I was like, you were in middle school when I was born. That's kind of odd.
That is, yeah, that's stepping over the edge.
Yeah. I mean, she was a great person and all. We had a fun time, but still, I was just like, dang.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 8. List 5 things that bring you instant joy. Music related or not music related.
My cat. Any Asian food brings me so much joy. Like literally anything. Like
what specific Asian country's food do you like the most?
I love Vietnamese food. Wait, is that?
Yeah.
That's Asian.
Wait,
dumb.
are you serious?
I'm dumb. I'm not. What is the word that I'm looking for?
Pho?
No. I'm not talking about food. I'm not I'm not knowledgeable in continents and stuff, but
you're not cultured.
I'm not cultured. Obviously, like love sushi, love Japanese food. Hibachi, who doesn't? Like, love Vietnamese food.
Have you ever had Korean food?
No, I actually haven't.
Okay, I need to take you to go eat Korean food because your life will be changed.
Isn't it like a lot of food?
It is, but it's also very good.
I'm down.
Granted, I'm Korean, so I'm biased, but still.
Yeah, but I do love pho. Pho is like amazing. There's this place on Mills that's like the best pho I've ever had.
Which place?
I think it's called like, why is every pho place named so weird? It's like,
it's Vietnamese, so all the phonetics are completely not what it sounds
they're like pho 24, pho.
Oh, okay, I've heard of that one.
I think it's that one, pho 24.
In Tampa, there's this one Vietnamese tea shop, and it's BICHNGA. So people thinks it says bitch brother.
I was like, my brain isn't putting those letters together.
Okay, so if Vietnamese food is pretty fire and gas.
Yes.
So Asian food in general. Okay.
So yeah, my cat, Asian food in general.
Actually, I'm gonna order bento after this. So.
Oh, love bento. What else brings me joy? Traveling. As much as I mean, I don't travel a ton, but it makes me super happy, even if it's staying in the state. I love traveling.
What's a place that you've traveled to that brings you happiness?
I went to Iceland a couple years ago. It was crazy. It was such a good time.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. It was like 10 days and we drove around the entire country. It was amazing.
Sounds like it. I'm super jealous.
Yeah. It was freezing cold and we still went in the summer. But there's only like 3 hours of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally got like no sleep the entire time.
I've been to Alaska on a cruise, and
nice.
It was during the summer too. So like at 11 a.m. the sun was still high up in the sky.
Yeah, I heard that. It's that's crazy how that happens. Like I couldn't even go in the winter. Like I was freezing in the summer.
Dang.
I can't imagine going in the winter.
Just imagine like there are some people there who just walk around shirtless in the snow, and they're just like, "Hey, welcome to Iceland.
Yeah.
Drink our vodka. It'll make you really warm."
Yeah, everyone's an alcoholic in Iceland. Like, it was kind of crazy. But yeah, traveling, and then honestly, just like sitting at home with Alexis and Mac and my boyfriend, that brings me joy. I'm a lazy person when I can be.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to just have my lazy time and my downtime.
Mm-hmm. And then you get one more thing.
One more would be trying really cool drinks, like alcoholic drinks. Brings me like so much joy.
You should try soju. That's Korean alcohol. It'll knock you on your butt.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, that's a great thing. That's a fantastic thing even. That's the thing you want.
Oh, then I'm not drinking the right alcohol then.
We'll get you on the right stuff.
Okay, cool.
Number 9. What is one really far-fetched goal you have? Like one that you wouldn't expect.
I already know. I want to be, I don't know if this is the correct like terminology, but I want to be like a nomad, if that makes sense. Not like from a car perspective, but I want to, I don't want to like have a van and like drive around and whatever, but I've always wanted to live somewhere for like a month and then like go somewhere else and live somewhere for a month and just like keep moving around, like literally like all over the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I just feel like I'm never going to be able to do that, which like makes me sad. So that's why it's so far-fetched for me. But I'm hoping at least for like half of a year or even a year that I will like sometime in the future be able to do that.
Like I was saying before, my buddy Andrew Sims, who does photography and videography, he lived out of his car for 3 years, completely just moved around. So if anything, that's like the closest thing I can think of.
Yeah. But it's also like, I could never do the whole car thing because...
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's just like too much.
Although, if they did find a way to add bathrooms into cars, I would never leave it.
Yeah.
And like, why would you need to?
Are you just like showering at gas station? Like, I just don't like that whole...
He actually jerry-rigged his own heated shower from his Jeep.
Oh.
No, this guy has...
That's crazy.
This guy has every bell and whistle down to the T.
Yeah.
It's actually an amazing story.
That's sick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One day maybe I'll be a nomad or whatever the term would be, but...
Speak to him. Hopefully he'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah, send me his info. I'd love to talk to him.
Will do. All right, and then we are already at the last question. Number 10. What's one of your most favorite recent accomplishments?
Ooh. I think just... Which this is more broad, but I think just being able to like support myself 100% and like being the age that I am and being like having a full-time job and just like being successful and like being able to support myself. But that's like, it's a little broad.
That's still something that you've gotten done. So,
Yeah.
and listen, some people still need some help. Even I do.
Yeah.
So if anything, you're kicking all of our asses. Or you're kicking mine at least.
No, definitely not. But I mean, it takes a lot to get there, which like I feel fortunate enough to like be able to support myself like fully right now. So,
But the best part is, there's no luck. You worked for it.
yeah, exactly. So it's definitely a big accomplishment.
I would agree. Awesome. These were really great answers. We're at that point in the show where we just kind of close things. I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time to come onto the show.
Thank you so much. This was so awesome. I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad to hear it. So why I brought you on is because even though that we've only had very few like spoken conversations, it's like we were always had that friendly vibe, and that's always one thing that I enjoyed about you, is that you never gave off that bitchy I'm superior kind of woman kind of vibe. You're always at a very good level. You've been down to earth, you've been level-headed, and whatever you put your mind to, you've definitely excelled at. I mean, two big entities in a very big industry, whether it's home base or whether it's Imagine, you got to the levels of roles that you need in order to really shake the ground of the music industry, and it's really commendable.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that more than anything. So thank you so much.
Of course. And it is for all of those aspects, the chillness, the drive, the overall success you've had, that I think you, Elliott Hunt, have big DK energy.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course. And since we're wrapping up, we're going to be putting her social media links in the description below. And before we head out, is there anything you want to promote or say?
I don't think so. Just probably keep going to music festivals so that we can have jobs.
Excellent. I think that's a very important PSA, actually. So great use of that. Mm-hmm. So if that is all, in that case, this is Big DK Energy signing out.
Bye.